Hello everyone, this is Plunkara, and welcome to my universe. Today, we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So I've been redoing my left and right head angles here, and so far so good. I think they're looking a lot better. I'm just going through and perfecting them before I go work on the corners. So now I think it is time to tackle this little strand right here. It's been giving me a bit of a hard time. So I'm gonna go see if the mesh has any hints for me. Any words of wisdom to help me figure out what's going wrong here. Okay. And indeed it does. I see it right away. This little guy is going a little bit too far out there. I do want this tip to be tucked in somewhat to mirror what's going on down here, but that was just making everything look strange, so let's go ahead and fix it. And Inktober continues on. Yesterday's illustration was kind of interesting for me. I based it somewhat of a memory when I went camping with my mom a long time ago. And just found this really nice view up on a ridge. So I rolled with it. And for this one, I did something a little bit different than what I would normally do. Where normally I would use color in either one specific area or just like on the person. Like I would often put it like in their eyes or some such thing. But in this case I decided to use 3 colors and then some actual shading for the background, and only the background. I left the character in black and white again. As usual. And it was an okay effect. I think if I tried some more things with it, I could have made it work out, but with this being a speed paint, I just kind of have to try something and finish it as quickly as I can. This is the place to just do like initial tests for ideas, not really to figure out how to refine them. And I think that there's some stuff I can do with that. Been thinking about art style a lot lately. Because I'm still thinking vaguely in the back of my mind about a comic that I may or may not end up writing. Still not a lot to talk about there, but I have been thinking a lot about art style because I find that incredibly interesting. Yes, thinking about an art style for a comic I may not write. It's just how I am, but it's an interesting thought experiment, even if it doesn't actually get written. And I was thinking about how, like, a lot of people do specific styles to make things look mystical or fantasy-like. And there's lots of ways to do that, but in particular what was catching my eye was, like, tarot cards and the like. Because I think that those are incredibly stylish. So I was wondering how you could take that and apply it to more complex scenes. And that kind of resulted in what I was trying back there, but again, I just didn't really have much time to expand on it. So I tried one thing. It was okay. It has given me new directions to try things. New things to think about, and that's what I think speed paints are good for. I think I might do an entire retrospective on Inktober here. At the end of the month. And probably more accurately, November 1st-ish. And then I can just talk about some of my thoughts. But you know, they're on my mind here, so why not share some of them now? I think probably the biggest thing I've gotten out of it is I've had to condense my thoughts and put them down onto something very, very, very quickly. If I want to publish something every day, I only have a little while to do that. And now when I'm thinking about posing in my head, I think I can get a initial pose idea down much faster than I could at the start. just an initial idea, something that I could use to maybe describe what's on my mind to my husband or whoever else I want to talk to more quickly than I could before. And this way I can actually use pictures and I don't have to spend, 10 or 20 minutes just to get a basic pose idea down. I can probably do it in less than one at this point. Again, just something super, super basic to help explain ideas. And I'm wondering if I can start moving towards being able to do that with character designs as well. Rather than put together a mood board or something to show them, just be able to do it right on the spot. And describe what's in my head with a picture instead of trying to use words, because I'm not always super great with words. Words are quite hard. That's why I'm ultimately an artist, not a writer. When it comes to our creative duos, my husband's the writer. So yeah, that's nice. Being able to get ideas done that quickly is actually incredibly useful. And one of the things that always made me really hesitant about taking commissions was that it might take me too long to get my initial ideas down to show the client. Or if I wanted to show them a few options of just how long would it take me to get enough of that option down onto paper where they could actually see it. Instead of me having to go, it'll look cool, trust me. Trust the process, friend. So who knows, maybe I'll be able to do some of that at some point, someday. Regardless, it is progress, so I do think we'll keep up with the speed paints going into the future. I think I have been getting quite a lot from doing them. And honestly, it also is kind of fun. I think I'm only going to do it once a week, though. Every day is a lot. It's not quite the same as it is when I do a lot of my just regular drawing. Because I do a lot of just more drawing off stream, too. But even this, it's not the same. Because like when I'm just drawing for fun, or drawing whatever else I want to be working on at the moment, it's like if I let myself get distracted, it's fine. I can, I don't know, look at the cat videos if I feel like watching cat videos for a few minutes, or if I'm listening to a stream, I can go and watch the playthrough real quick. Just take a quick break. If my brain hurts, I can get up and walk around for a little while, go take care of the laundry, go do whatever else I need to do, and it's fine. But if I only have that short amount of time to literally finish the entire picture, yeah, it's not fun. Can't do that. Otherwise I will not finish. So yes, doing this level of extreme speed painting, it is very much different. Very, very different. Just the ability to allow myself to get distracted or, even just sit down and think for a second. It's like I don't really have that luxury. Occasionally I'll look up references and stuff during it, but I better be fast if I'm doing that. And even then, as speed paints go, I'm not even being particularly fast here. Most of the time I'm finishing these in probably about 90 minutes, I'd say. A lot of speed paints are an hour or less. But I decided to go easy on myself and let myself have 2 hours. I am glad that I did. I think a lot of that level of extreme speed painting is something I will have to ease myself into. I think some people can handle the speed better than me, but I like to take things slow. As you've probably noticed, given I've been working on this model for over 100 parts, and I'm totally fine just keeping going forever and ever. I don't mind taking things slow. That's not true, I'm actually quite impatient, but when it comes to my creative stuff, nah, I take it slow. For me, I think it yields better results. It's just always so funny hearing myself say stuff like that, because I remember one of the first arguments that I got in with my husband before... This was long before we got married or anything. It was me just getting really impatient with how long it was taking him to move out here. And actually, even before then, this wasn't an argument. But I was, I didn't want to have to wait for him to graduate from school, so I actually lived up in his apartment for about... What? Was it a year or was it 2? I can't remember. But it was a while. Just because I didn't want to have to wait for him to finish school before we could, live together and see each other more. Because we were long distance before then. Then I lived up there, and then while he wrapped everything up with his family, I came back down here to prepare for his arrival, and was perhaps a little bit miffed at how long it was taking him. I'm sure it's surprising with the kind of stream that I have here, but I have, like, zero chill as a person. I want to do all the things, and I want to do them now. This is why I don't want to do things like sleep. It takes too long. It's like, why would I want to sleep when there's so many cool things out in the world just waiting for me to go out and do them? My goodness, this strand. Okay. I'm gonna have to consult the mesh again because... Man, I don't know what's going on here. Let's also take a look at how it's supposed to be up in here. Let's see. Oh, I was not very careful about where I put these vertices. That's okay. I don't have to be quite that precise with them. Just gonna stare for a second here. See what my brain can put together. It's okay, Mesh, I believe in you. Trust in the Mesh. It holds many great secrets about the world. So yeah, my husband and I were playing more Baldur's Gate 3 this morning, and I have to say, the segment we did today was a lot of fun. Absolutely wonderfully designed. To speak in vague terms and avoid spoilers, we were going into an underwater prison to release some guys, and it got blown up, so the entire place was flooding. And if we didn't hurry, everyone was going to die. And when I was first going in there, I was wondering, oh, is there going to be actual time pressure here? Because the game is not always very good at having actual time pressure in it. And turns out, yes, there was actual time pressure. Very, very strong time pressure. We only had like 6 turns to do everything there. And there was a lot to do. So my character has high strength and is very, very fast. So I had Gale cast haste on her before we went down, and she was just able to go in and beat up a lot of things, and everybody else was able to kind of plug up the last couple of gaps that she wasn't quite able to just run around and handle. It was great. It was a very well put together puzzle. It's probably the most fun I've had in that game for a long time. Definitely my favorite part so far. I think it shows an important game design principle, and that throughout the game so far I had been building up my character and getting her nice and strong and all that good stuff, and now I could actually use a lot of those abilities that I had been training up and the directions that I've been trying to build her, and actually use them to great effect here. And it was a very different kind of puzzle than what a lot of the other elements in the game have been so far, where it's a lot of I just need to keep hitting this guy until he falls down. This was there was some hitting dudes until they fell down, and I actually tried to do that a little bit hard at the beginning because my character is very, very good at hitting stuff until they fall down. But in this case, it was just getting to where you need to be and making very good use of the abilities granted to you, and figuring out what order to do things in. Many, many good things. And through the entire thing, I felt like it was very fair. Because this game is modeled on Dungeons & Dragons, there are some encounters that I don't feel like are particularly fair. Because there's a fair amount of save or suck, as it's called, where you either roll enough on the dice to save against a particular effect, or you have a very bad time. And there's also been a few instances of there are NPCs that I want to protect, but they're not always very smart, and I can't control them. And I also cannot resurrect them when they die. There was one NPC in one of the bigger fights where I didn't want her to die, so I literally just cast Dimension Door and brought her up to the rafters. She wouldn't do anything there, but she wouldn't die, and I didn't need her damage. So I basically just said, "Get out of the fight, lady!" And she did. She didn't have a choice. So that was pretty funny. And there's been situations like that where maybe the design intent was not carried out in a super great way, but no, this particular scene with the underwater prison, it was fabulous. Had a great time. It's like I don't talk about higher budget games very often because, frankly, they haven't interested in me very much lately. Kind of seem to have reached a point where the budgets are getting so large that they have to appeal to many, many, many people, which in turn just kind of makes them kind of bland, in my opinion. And then they have to make sure that there's like sufficient playtime and stuff like that in order to satisfy the mass audience that they're going for here, and it just leads to a lot of really bland design where no risks are taken, nothing interesting happens, and they're all just kind of the same. So I've really only been interested in indie development for a long time. I guess Larian, the creators of Baldur's Gate 3, kind of straddle the line between AAA and indie, but overall, a lot of the games that I like just are not especially mainstream. So this is the first one that's gotten really popular that I've enjoyed in quite some time. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it like that. Like, there's some that I was able to get some amount of enjoyment out of, but they're not the kind of games that I would recommend. I will say, if you've played the original Baldur's Gate games, then this one is a pretty good sequel to them. The characters that they decided to import, I should say, are treated very well. They got Minsk down perfectly, which is not easy, because that character is absolutely insane. But he's wonderful. But yes, they got him perfectly. And then the new characters that they have for this game were also very well written. So far I've been having a pretty good time. It just today was something special. Definitely my favorite moment so far. Meanwhile, I'm still here, trying to get this strand right. I swear that I had this problem the first time I started rigging this as well. And it's just... I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why it's happening. Even the mesh's wisdom has not been quite enough for me to work out what's going on here. But it just keeps crunching and looking really bad. And the movement on it is just all wrong. It's so sad. I do want it to kind of looks like it's kind of twisting back like this strand is. I think that looks really good. So I want to do something similar on this one. So I don't want to copy the mesh like 1-to-1. Or the mesh how it is in the front, like 1-to-1. And so that makes it a little bit harder on me. Okay, I'm going to try to bring these a little bit closer together like this and see if that helps me achieve the effect I'm going for. See if something like this helps. Maybe. Perhaps. I'm not wholly convinced here, but maybe it was a little bit better. I did notice some shifting here, so I'm gonna try to move the vertices on the outside a little further up like this. When in doubt, just solve any problems I see, and maybe eventually they'll all go away. Maybe they'll just be gone. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, I actually do think it's starting to look a little better now. Let's see what it looks like when I zoom out. Does it look bad? Yes. Yes, it does. It's okay. It's getting close. The strand just has a mind of its own. And it does not know what it wants. A mind of its own that's very, very confused. So let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that's actually looking better now. A little bit better. Let me, just pull, like, the entire thing, like, right here, just a little bit further inward. Just a teeny tiny bit. Maybe that'll solve the rest of my problems. See, this is why I didn't want to work on this yesterday. I don't blame myself at all. My past self did plenty yesterday, so I can forgive her. It's just a complete mess of a little area. And I'm just doing the tiniest tweaks to hopefully fill in the last little bit there. There we go. Something like that. Okay. And in my attempts to kind of mess with things, I mess some stuff up here. That's okay. I can fix up here too. Everything is connected. And so hopefully when I mess with stuff up here again, it will not mess up everything I just did down below. I don't want to have to work on it again. I finally got it looking okay. Please tell me it's fine. Please, little strand, tell me everything is okay. Is everything okay? I think it actually is. I think everything's okay now. Well, mostly. I want to change the angle on this line a little bit more still. Just go... boop. 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 Okay, now for the scary one. Boop. Boop. Okay. Are we good? Is everything fine? Are all the vertices happy? Are you all happy? No, not quite. Okay, I just have to bring that little line of boops that I did all the way down to the tip here. Okay. Just had to straighten that out a little bit, and now hopefully everything will be okay. No, it's not okay still. No, it's right here. There's like a little dent right there. I was so close. So close yet so far. It's alright, I'll figure it out. And with any luck, I'll be able to do more than one tiny little strand before today is over. It's okay, it's detailed hair. Sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes it is just like that. That little bump is still there. It's probably a bit too strong, isn't it? A little bit too strong, I think. What is even causing that? I don't understand at all. Okay, now this is promising. Is that all I had to do to get rid of the bump? Okay, no more bump. Is everything good? Is it good? But in order, the movement I did to get rid of the bump kind of had its own set of problems, so I gotta find, like, a halfway point there. Probably just moved it a little bit too far. Okay, I think this is alright. Some vertices a little further up got around. Ooh, but falling asleep a little bit there. There we go. Okay. So this is where I will consult the mesh's wisdom. What exactly is being strange here? I don't actually know, because I mean the outside ones were the other ones that were really shifting that much, and they kind of needed to be there in order to get the effect that I currently want. And I struggle to believe that it was causing the problem that I was seeing. Okay, and indeed. Okay, so this time the mesh was a little bit confused. This is why you can't blindly trust anyone. Even if they're not lying to you, it doesn't mean they're right. Okay, so now there's like a little lump right here. And I'm going to try to work out. Okay, so far so good. There's actually like a little lump right there that I want to work out. And I think that's just from this needing to come out and this needing to come in a little bit. I don't actually think I have to move much else. Okay. Are you happy now, Strand? Is everything good? Are you twisting the way I want you to? Oh yeah. Okay, I think we're good. I'm free. All is well now. Just wanted to check something back here because I realized I didn't actually finish the back here. And indeed, you can see does not go all the way to the edge here. That's just one of those cases where my brain just suddenly remembered something and I was like, oh wait, I should check this. And indeed, it's not going all the way in the back here either. Ah, I see what's happening. There's like a strand from the very back. And it's sticking out. No, you're supposed to be back here. Go be tucked behind the strand. There we go. It's okay. Go hide. You can just stay hidden, and then all will be well. Alright, let's clean up the back hair now. Because somehow it just popped into my mind. Did I actually remember to do the back hair for the right head turn? And so I wanted to check it real quick, and the answer is no, I did not. I'm not sure how I could forget something like that, but here I am. I have perhaps been a little bit scatterbrained this week. Perhaps just a little. There's been a lot on my mind. It's cool. It happens sometimes. So now there's going to be a strand somewhere. I can never remember where the strand back there is. And I just got to put him so he is on top, like directly behind this little strand right here. This is where he lives. He does not need to be peeking out anywhere. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now let's double check the rest of the back hair here. Make sure everything is in order here. Is everything moving good? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Moves a lot more back this way than it does up here. Because it's kind of pivoting around her head, and so that makes sense. Alright, there we go. I'm not sure how I managed to forget that, but here we are. Mistakes were made, but I fixed it, so it's okay now. Okay. So now back to what I was doing. I want to adjust this strand here behind the bang here, so I'm gonna go hide that for a moment once I find it. There we are. And also the strand that I was just working on. So I feel like he's swinging around just in a bit of a strange way. Let me see, where does it actually connect? Kind of connects to where the dark color ends, right there. Alright, let's get him back into place. Once I find the strand. Okay, there it is. There we go, just get it all in there. Like this, strictly speaking, doesn't have to be super precise, because most of it is going to be covered up. But I saw a little bit of squirming happening underneath the bang, so if I can see it, then there's a problem. I know there's just some shifting, so I'm gonna go ask the mesh what the problem here is. Okay. Looks like it's mostly on this side. Any more problems, Mesh? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, look at these Look at the vertices running through here, these three. When I go through, you can see that they're all completely changing the angle. So when I head to the left, they're going to all move upward. And that's going to make the texture on the strand look a little bit strange. If I had a very simple strand, like maybe it's a solid color, that would be less of an issue. It might end up being an issue depending on how the pixels get aliased and the like. But for textures with solid colors, a lot of the times what I'm worrying about here is not that important. But because there's lots of different colors on this strand, lots of shading and various things like that, it ends up mattering, and it ends up looking a little bit strange if I don't fix these things. Or at least it does to my eyes. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that I'm not the only one that sees these things, so I might as well go fix them. And if it bothers me, well, that automatically makes it worth doing, in my opinion. I want to make something nice here, so gotta make it very nice. Alright. It's definitely a lot better than it was. I'm just gonna work out all the shifting all the way down the strand. Might take a little bit of time to get through it all, but so far so good, I think. Just requires me to really pay attention. It's one of those things that's hard to do while talking at the same time, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just means it might take a little bit longer. I think people severely underestimate how difficult it is to talk and do just about anything at the same time. So, all your favorite streamers playing games or doing art, they're actually doing something pretty impressive if they're able to talk and do that at the same time. It's not easy. I did not have any appreciation for how hard it was until I tried to do it myself. If you ever want to get some more appreciation for your favorite content creators, try playing a game and talking at the same time, even if you're just narrating what you're doing or talking about your day. Just do it and then watch it back afterwards and see how many times you paused, or see how much worse your gameplay is. Stuff like that. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Definitely took me a little while to get used to doing it. I had some practice with a friend on Discord before going live for the first time, so that helped a lot. So thank you, friend. I appreciate your existence. So I got a little bit of practice before I jumped right in. Made the transition a little bit easier on me. Because, man, I can't even imagine trying to figure out how to talk and do all this all at the same time. It's like, at least there, if I stopped working, or if we got into a very a conversation that very much needed my focus, it wasn't a big deal if I stopped and just started chatting, because, you know, they were my friend. And they were fine if I just kept saying stuff. And just focused on the conversation as opposed to the art and everything else I needed to do. The stakes were a little bit less weird, and it made the entire thing a little bit less awkward for me. Which is good, because my first stream, I was super anxious. I felt like I was going to throw up the entire time. So it was nice to have that little bit of experience under my belt. Very nice indeed. Alright, I think I have this side all looking good. Let me just take another look up top here. But I think... yeah, the smaller side is looking pretty good. I might adjust here just a little bit. Let me take another look here. I do wish that Inochi2D would let me hit a button and just stay on the line here. So this way I don't have to worry about going slightly up or slightly down. Because it's like if I hold shift, it'll like let me go directly into the dots. But nothing to let me stay on that straight line. Ah yes, I remember thinking about this before. That I wanted to make some small edits to this dark area over here. Because when I was looking at it this morning, I saw that this dark spot, like right over here, was getting a little bit thicker, and I thought that looked really good. It looked a little bit bigger, so it looked like we were seeing more of the shadow side. And I liked that. So I kind of wanted to see if I could do a little bit more with that. It depends on how the mesh cooperates with me. I think this is why a lot of people separate complex shading like this. But I think I would die if I had that many layers. And then, honestly, I don't know how to separate it properly. So this is fine. And I think that small change actually looks pretty good. But I do feel like the top here is going downward a little bit. So I'm guessing I must have taken the brush to it at some point, and my unsteady hand pushed it down just very slightly. So let me see about pulling this back up just a little here. Not a lot, just a little bit. And we'll just scroll back and forth very slowly. Make sure it's better, and it is, I think. All is well once more. Alright. I think I might have pushed this just a little bit too far here. So let's gently pull some of it back just a little bit. I like the effect, I just need to find the right amount to put down. So this way it doesn't look like it's squirming, it looks like it's rotating. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks good. Let me just see if I can get a little bit more of this pink color right through here. Probably do something like raise this just a little bit here. And then raise these just a little bit here. Shy little pink here. Does not want to come out. It's okay, we'll get it on out. Let it poke its head up. Just enough to kind of outline the two strands there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Don't mind me when I accidentally kind of tilt the head back a little bit, but... there. Alright. Now I just want to keep some of the poofiness that I had to pull back when I moved this vertex. And just pull it a little bit out here, just a tad. Nothing too serious. There we go. See how that moves. Always gotta see how it moves. Because the movement is what's important, not each static keyframe. The movement is the most important part. Yeah, I think I like that. So I'll go with that. Alright. So I think that's this entire side done. Now I gotta look at this side. I forget if I had started that side yet. I don't think I made too many changes on that side from the original attempt at the head turn here. Okay, I see that there's a little bit of squirming on this back area here. So I'll have to fix that up. Everything else. How is everything else? Just gonna do some quick scans here and there. Yeah, I actually think a lot of the other things still look pretty good. Might adjust this tunnel a little bit more still. Because when our head is facing this way, we should see more of this side and less of this side. So let's see if I can perfect the tunnel, because I think this is one area that shows 3D effect the best. And by that I mean, when the head turns, I want to make it look like the head is turning and not just have some unrelated things kind of going from side to side. And in order to achieve that kind of 3D effect, you know, the feeling that the head is moving, then showing what these things that change depending on the angle of the head is actually quite important. And I think this is one of them. The tunnel is one of the big spots, I think. So I want to show off a little bit more of this. Don't want to go too hard. Just a little bit there, so this should look a little bit strange. Huh. No, it actually looks pretty good. I was going to say, I thought I was going to have to tuck this in more before that would look good. Maybe it's a sign I'm not going hard enough. We shall see. But first, I want to tuck this in, pull this over just a little bit so this way we see a little bit less of this side. So when her head was turning to the right, I showed a lot more of that side, and now that it's turning to the left, I want to see less. So if you look here, when I go to the right, you can see a lot more inside here, but a lot less over here. Now that it's going the other direction, I want to show a little bit less over here and a lot more over here. So that's what matches the way her head is turning. So 3D effect goes a little bit beyond just making sure that each keyframe looks good. It's really thinking about how the movement itself is going to look, how everything between the two keyframes looks. And that's been the key for improving my rigging personally. Just remembering that everything that happens in the middle is far more important in each of these little outer areas that I control directly. I've just got to tell the computer what to do. Give it some good ideas and it'll help with the rest. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Okay, now let's just make it better. Idea is very good. Idea is very, very good. I like it a lot. But I did pull some things a little bit too hard. So I just gotta get them back into place. There we go. Okay. So let's just turn some of this, and now I'm just going through and making sure that the entire thing looks very nice. Getting rid of any squirming and other things that I just don't think look as good. But I really do like that. That looks very nice. Most of the stuff that I see, or the problems here, are the areas like right through here that got stretched a little bit. So like I can still see a little bit of squirming in this kind of area right here. So I'm going to try to figure out what I can do to make that look a little bit better. Because I think it's a little bit stronger than I would personally prefer. But look, I have some vertices right on top of it, so hopefully I'll be able to use those to kind of get rid of that squirming. Past me coming in clutch here. This is the place where the mesh worked out. Okay. So from there, it's just a matter of just perfecting a lot of these little things here. I felt like this strand was moving downward a little bit, and I can't have that. Yeah, still a little bit of stuff moving downward. Do not want that. So a lot of these changes are just going to be super subtle, super small. But animation is about a lot of these super subtle things just all coming together to make something nice. Okay, I think that actually looks really good. I approve. Yes, talking about... We were playing Baldur's Gate earlier today. I talked about that for a while, so now all I can think is... Kara approves. And there we go. Okay. So I was looking at this area before and was fixing that and think it looks good now. And now I want to visit this area because I don't think that area is looking very good yet. Got a little bit of squirming, and with the way some things got pulled over here, I kind of need to have this strand move in a similar way. I think I can get away with it. So I just gotta pull this down a little bit here. And it should look better. In theory. Let's test it. Let's see if my theory is correct. Theory is correct, I just need to do it better. That's how it goes sometimes. The top needs to move a little bit more, that's all. I think the bottom is in about the right place, though. Okay, take two. How's it look? Yeah, look at that. Okay. Now I need to fix up some stuff right through here. Just kind of straighten it out. Looks like it got a little bit turned about while I was making all those other changes there. And I think I can probably afford to straighten it out further down here too. Just make that look a little bit better. Make sure nothing is all crunchy and stuff. I don't know, that's still... It's got a little bump right there. I don't think I like it. That's a little bump that I can afford to fix, I think. There we go. How is that? Oh yeah. Got some stuff I want to tweak at the bottom, but for the top, I think that looks quite good. Do I have anything I want to tweak up here. I think I do. Now, let me think really hard about how this is moving. So the tunnel that I just fixed up. The head was turning this way, so we saw a little bit more of the end here. So if I go up here, do I see any more or less of this area and this area? Because I think that's the key here. So if I adjust this just a little bit, doesn't have to go too far, just a little bit of movement there. We should see a little bit more of that area, and I think that will look good. Yeah, that does look good. And then I think I can adjust the underneath layer directly as well. Just by bringing that dark area a little bit further this way. A little bit further to the right. There we go. So I think that'll help sell the effect a little bit too. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. And now with this strand right here, I think I want to pull this area out just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. We're just gonna have it come on out just a little bit more. Doesn't need to be so modest. It can come on out all at once. Here we are. Okay. That didn't quite work like I was hoping. Let's back up then. Okay. So that was a test that did not go in my favor. It happens sometimes. I am not always right. It's very unfortunate. My life would be so much easier if I was always right, you know? So maybe I just want this part to come out. And the top part can stay. Alright. So how about that? Is that better? Yeah, that's better. That's a bit more of what I wanted it to do, but I don't know, I still feel like I can do more. I'm not sure what exactly, but looking at it just makes me feel a little bit unsatisfied. LL would disapprove. Okay. So how's that? I do feel like this top part, where the shadow is, kind of, you know, the shadow coming up through there, is moving a little bit too far to the left. So maybe some of my problems will be solved if I just move things a little bit like this. Kind of fluff it out a little bit more. And do some stuff like that. Yes, but I actually think that I still have everything a little bit too far to the left. Because I also see the shifting in, like, these slightly lighter areas dotting this darker area through here, right before the highlight. So I think I can straighten some of this out even more, make it even more floofy. Let's take a look. See what I can do with it. And it has been almost an hour, and I can tell that I'm getting a little bit tired. So this may be a question for future me to solve. That's okay. I want to set future me up for success. So I'm going to do a little bit more here. But if I feel like I'm meandering a bit, I will back off and let my future self handle the rest. She's quite smart. She can do it. I like the idea. I do think that it is making a difference. I think some triangles up at the top here got shifted upward. So let's go ahead and try to get them into a better spot over there. Man, things really did get shifted hard over there. So let's pull this out a little bit more here. I'm actually wondering how that made its way past my detection for so long. Because it's like, watch this shadow here. It's gonna dance for you. It's just a tiny, tiny little jig, but nonetheless, there will be a little bit of movement around it. It's a lot better than it was. I mean, you saw how far to the right that I moved it. But yeah, I guess, I just had that in the wrong place. All this time here. My eyes are not perfect. They do miss stuff. It's deeply unfortunate. I wish they would stop. Oh yeah, that's already looking much better. We'll see what the me of tomorrow thinks. But the me of today is actually quite happy. So tomorrow I think I'm going to go down and fix up the connecting hair, and I see some scorbing like up here, and we'll see if I can worry about this strand that always scares me. That's a lot of goals for tomorrow, but a lot of those details are quite small, and they're not as scary as this little strand right here. So we'll do that, and hopefully that'll finish up a lot of this. Because it's like I'm looking at the back hair now, and that's still looking pretty good. I might need to adjust a little bit over here, but really the back hair is looking pretty good, I think. Okay, well, regardless, this is where I will be stopping for today. So, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media platform of your choice. I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.